Hello. At least I figured out the lighting, so I don't look so red. But, hello. This isn't going to be my usual type of video. I'm kind of frustrated right now. I just got back from seeing Dr. Kelman, my awesome psychologist, Dr. Kelman, and she's so insightful. She gives me a lot to think about, and I'm a little sad and frustrated by our session today. Not anything that she did or said or anything like that, but just something I kind of knew but didn't want to accept kind of deal. We were talking about agoraphobia today, and it took me a long time to be able to admit to myself that I have agoraphobia. I just figured I just didn't like going outside. And I try to contribute that to being shy or self-conscious, that kind of thing. But I am socially phobic and agoraphobic. And so near the end of the session, probably the latter half of the session, we started talking about my fear of going out of doors and what it felt like when I tried and stuff like that. Now, when I first started seeing her, I would go every single week. But as the aftermath of my breakdown started becoming more and more apparent and falling into place, my sessions got further and further apart because I was just having a hard time leaving the house. And so the latter part of the session today, we were talking about it. And I asked her, I said, well, how do you treat agoraphobia? And she gave me some disheartening news. But that's what I like about Dr. Kelman. She won't sugarcoat it. She doesn't say, well, this, pat, 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 or that, pat, 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 She won't. She calls me to a point, but she'll be honest with me because she knows that I would prefer that. Don't just give me a line to make me feel better. Be honest about it. I'm a grown-up. Well, however I feel about it is how I'm going to feel about it, and I'll deal with the emotions afterward. Well, she personally doesn't treat agoraphobia. But when she finds the information, she's going to give me the information to somebody in Memphis that actually does. But she broke the news to me that when people with agoraphobia get to the point where I am, where I can go weeks without leaving the house, it's almost impossible to treat to a manageable state. And I'm so frustrated because I've been dealing with this breakdown for almost 2 years now, and I've been dealing with the aftermath of it for almost 2 years. In 5 months, it'll be 2 years. And I'm just over it. From the vitamins that I take, I have had a lot of relief from the depression. So I'm optimistic about my anxiety. And, God, this just fucking sucks. It just fucking sucks. I'm one of those weird people that would love to leave the house and go get a job. I would love to do that. When I was on disability before, this was, let's see, I got off of disability in 2004, 2005, somewhere along that. And when I went back to work, it wasn't a high-paying job. It was Blockbuster. But it felt so good. It felt good. I just want to be there again. But I know, realistically, I know I'll never get to that point again. And it just fucking sucks. Realistically, I know that the fears that I have are lame. At best, they're lame. But for me, they're real. They're real fears. The ideology behind the fear may not be real, but the feeling of fear is real. I'm paranoid. I'm anxious. I have gastroparesis because of stress caused by anxiety. Now, I have physical problems because of the anxiety level. And I can blame it on a lot of things. But the reality is, I was severely abused as a child. And during my developmental periods, I was harmed, and I didn't develop right. And now I'm trapped. I really, really, really did believe that when we left Memphis, that I would be fine. I really believed that. But that's not true either, is it? I hate not being able to reason my way out of a fear. I don't like not having control. Over some aspect of me. A few times Melissa has asked me if, one of the alters can go get a job. I think she was half joking about it. But, they have agoraphobia too. I'm not asking for any tips or suggestions. I'm just venting. I think my friend Amanda has described it the best of anybody that I know. What it feels like. What it actually feels like to start feeling that fear and that panic of having to leave your house. That you can feel it coming on as you're approaching the door. You can feel it coming on. And your logical brain tells you, the executive function of your brain tells you that there's nothing to fear out there. Absolutely nothing. You can just go outside. Everything will be fine. But then your hippocampus, the part that was developing during your developmental periods when you're being severely abused, tells you, and that controls, the part of your memory. And it tells you, well, let's not forget what happened before. Let's not forget what happened before now. Because, bad things happened before now. Let's not forget about that. Oh, and by the way, here's some other things to think about. Here's some other things to worry about. At least I'm having a good hair day. See all my gray? I'm letting my natural hair color come out. I've gotten a lot of compliments on it. Except for this part here. I mean, I get compliments on this part, but I guess you can't see it very well. But this part here is kind of blonde from coloring my hair before. So I have natural, and then what the hell? Natural, and then what the hell? Next time I get it cut, I'll try to get it cut out. Thanks for listening.